Hello kindred longevity lifestyle designers, this is Zach here with secrets of longevity and humans.com, as well as martin-kilgour.com. One of the first things that got me involved in the health field, aside from magic mushrooms, was meditation. I've been practicing meditation for longer than anything else that I talk about on my YouTube channel here, and it's perhaps the one thing I'm most devoted to. It's definitely the thing I can hardly go a day without doing. Obviously, you can go a day without eating, you can just fast, you can do other things and you can let them go, come back to them soon afterwards. However, meditation is like, for me personally, it's such a medicine for the soul. It's so deeply purifying and centering, and I've created such a routine around it that it really affects me when I don't get to practice it when I miss my practice one day by some unfortunate circumstance. The reason I think meditation is so crucial to a longevity lifestyle is that it's so simple to do. You don't really need a teacher, so it's incredibly affordable. I've actually posted an article, which you can go to in the link in the top right hand info box there, and I give really the basics of what meditation truly is. A lot of people who have heard about the benefits of meditation but haven't explored it yet or really looked into what it's about are confused about what it is. There's all sorts of cultural stereotypes about what meditation is. They show people with hand postures and sitting in different positions and doing different things. And basically, the actual definition of meditation, and I'm going specifically by the ancient Chinese definition of it here. Other cultures might use meditation in other ways, but the Chinese word for meditation is Qing Jing Ru Wei, which translates literally as sit still and do nothing. Now, this might differ from the thoughts of people visualizing fantastic things and going off into crystal land and frolicking with the gnomes there or something. Basic meditation, which I believe should be the foundation of anyone's practice, if they're looking to get the most benefits in terms of being able to develop the ability to concentrate and focus, is to just sit there and without any specific technique. So, according to the Chinese or Taoist definition of meditation, you stop doing meditation whenever you add in a technique. So this could be, if you're starting to do some sort of breathing exercise, then you're doing a breathing exercise. You're no longer doing meditation. Now, I'm not going to argue specifics because, I mean, it's kind of a waste of energy. If people want to call meditation sitting there visualizing their chakras, they can. However, the basic practice of just sitting still in one spot, it can be on a stool, a chair, in lotus position, lying down. Well, the problem with lying down is that you can start to fall asleep more easily because you don't have the erect spine, which helps in keeping the awareness awake. So, the basic practice of what I've been talking about is actually found in all these different cultures, such as Tibetan Buddhism, Taoism, yoga, Zen meditation, and the list goes on. I mean, even shamanic practice will have some of these, this basic technique. And in many of these cases, they actually call it the most advanced technique. So, some of these cultures might not even get to that stage after having done other preliminary work. Now, that doesn't mean to say this is an advanced practice. It's really very basic. And in the article that I posted, I talk about sort of the things you want to do to set up for a meditation practice and all the details around it. And for such a simple practice, I do have a lot to say about it. It's not too big an article, but I do encourage you to check it out because it's informative. So the benefits that come from a regular meditation practice is that you learn to be centered within yourself without any specific technique, like I said. If you're able to just observe whatever's going on in your mind, in the external environment, without judgment and without preconceived preconceived perceptions, you're going to be able to better handle everyday situations. Having meditated for a number of years, I do know, like, there's been times that I've been in minor crises type situations, and afterwards I'm amazed at the type of reaction I have to it. I mean, this does have to do with other things I do in my health practices, my diet, etc. that would affect this, but for instance, I've almost been in car accidents before. I actually wasn't the one driving, and I recall not being really affected by it. I was in the car with two other people, and they were horrified at what almost happened. Yet I was almost laughing in the back seat because I was just sort of removed from the situation. And that, in and of itself, could be helpful in a situation if I had been in a car accident. Because I'm used to being relaxed, and that's another benefit of meditation. You can just be relaxed all the time if you can stay in that space of emptiness, which is, as in previous videos I've talked about wu wei, and that wu wei, which is emptiness, is actually in the word qing jing wu wei, sit still and do nothing. So by being nothing, you be relaxed, and in any sort of jarring or emotionally charged situation, you're going to be able to go with the flow and tumble with the blows, so to speak. This is how meditation ties into martial arts. People who are relaxed and in a situation where they're fighting, they can move with the fight, and they have more of an advantage that way. And so in an instance such as a car accident, it's known that if you tense up, even in any sort of accident where you're falling over, it's going to hurt more because you're more likely to strain muscles, do whatever. Whereas if you're relaxed, you're going to go with whatever the car's doing. Now that's a really extreme example, but even in instances, this can be taken in more abstract ways, instances such as a financial crisis in your life. If you're very able to remain calm and centered, keeping that serotonin and dopamine in check in your brain, you're going to be better able to handle and think clearly through the crisis, and you can make a plan of action and get through it. And whereas someone who panics and has elevated adrenaline, elevated cortisol levels, is more likely to make mistakes, is more likely to have health consequences, and they're more likely just not even able to make it out of that. So in that instance, I'd say meditation can be a lifesaver. It is known through all the longevity cultures around the world, they do have spiritual practices. Whether it's specifically meditation or not, it doesn't matter. It's just being able to get into that space in yourself where you can be calm, relaxed, and tranquil. And going into that on a daily basis so that you begin to accumulate this essence in yourself, which is you're just naturally a calm, centered, and relaxed person. If you do any sort of exercise on a daily basis, you're going to incorporate that pattern into yourself. And that's the benefit of doing these things. So perhaps you're attracted to the idea of meditation, perhaps you have other interests, but regardless, finding the time and space in your life to just be present and not do anything can have unfathomable long-term benefits.